Can you talk about your latest video game and tie-ins with McFarlane Toys?
Yeah. I mean, again, we've been involved with video games either with me artistically, or us bouncing around. And it started years ago with Metal Gear Solid, but we've had a pretty good run here for the last 4 or 5 years with Halo, and that continues to perform and do strong for us. But as you can see here, we just signed a big contract here with Assassin's Creed, and two things here that sort of excite us is, number one, Ubisoft put a big marketing push behind their latest game, Assassin's Creed 3, and it worked. And this game now is what they call a AAA brand, right? I mean, they literally elevated this brand up. And then number two, because they've expanded the franchise, they've given us the entire library from beginning to end, and then anything going forward in the future. So we don't have to be stuck to like one game and only the 2 or 3 characters that people like. We can now expand it out over the decade they've been putting out the games and come up with the cool stuff. I mean, for starters, if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, why wouldn't you want this poster in 3D? So we will get you this poster in 3D, and we may even get it not only at this size, we may even get you some big scale stuff that's between 15 to 24 inches big, maybe some stuff with cloth on it. We're going to do some sexy stuff with it. So, and then we also signed a deal with Ubisoft here for the Rabbids, which is, I think, going to be huge. My prediction: you come back a year from now at the next Toy Fair, Rabbids is going to be one of the stronger properties, because Nickelodeon's putting it on TV. So instead of it being a strong video game, because it's going on Nickelodeon, and they ordered 76 7-minute clips and running 3.5 an hour, it's just going to be, I think it's going to be a potential SpongeBob SquarePants, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it. You can do some crazy stuff and some parody stuff and some wacky stuff with it. So I think that's going to rock for us.
Could you tell us a little bit about what was it like to work with Ubisoft and getting the details of some of these characters from Assassin's Creed and Rabbids? Right.
Look, I've been at this for 20 years, and I always tell my employees, every contract is like having a new baby. It has its own personality. You have people that sometimes are very willing participants. Sometimes people get it, sometimes they don't. So don't assume that whatever we did with one customer is going to be the same with the next one. Ubisoft, by far, has been the most willing participant almost out of any license I've done in 20 years. They're the people that go, do you have any ideas, Todd? You want to add some stuff? If you got some, you want to come up with some new costumes, cool, send it to us. The worst we can do is say no. You want to come up with some crazy stuff with Rabbids, worst we can do is say no. You got some ideas, send them our way, which is sometimes almost counter to what we get, which is, here's the only 3 things you can do, and we're not even going to show you 2 of them because they're super secret, and even though you're supposed to be making the product, we can't even show you, and you're going, So they have been a giant breath of fresh air, and I wish all of our licenses were this easy to deal with.
How have you seen this part of your business grow?
I think it's more of retailers waking up to it. In the toy industry, most of the boys' aisle has been taken up by movies/TV shows, and there wasn't a lot of success or product that came out from the video games, and so it took a long time for them to wake up to the fact that when Call of Duty drops, it makes more money in a 24 to 48 hour span than the best movie in history, right? I mean, they're just starting to wake up to that, right? That they're going, oh, maybe we should be looking at that video game industry. Maybe they're fans that are there. And so now you're starting to see they're starting to take a look more and more, and because of that, then we're getting a better sales that we wouldn't have had 10 years ago, because their thing that they used to always say to me was, Todd, name me the video game property that's made me rich, right? But they can name you TV shows and movies that have done that. And now they're starting to realize that maybe if they get a AAA brand video game, it might not be as big as Batman or Spider-Man per se or Transformers, but it can do some real good business for them.